How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bochum Career Mode. This is going to be episode number 16, and it will be the final episode of the season, pretty much. By the end of the season, we go into season number 2, and I'm really looking forward to starting to record all of that. I haven't decided to record anything after this episode. Once this goes live, I will have obviously recorded the first episode of season 2, but I just decided not to record anything until I'd at least made these episodes, so I wasn't going to spoil anything for Season 2. So we are going to head into the only game of today's episode, which is going to be against Bayern Munich, and then we'll go through a load of admin stuff in the background, a lot of menu stuff, signing some players signing a player on pre-contract, and youth academy and training and all that sort of stuff. You can see just a couple of youth academy players coming through there, Schwabe and Visa, a left back and a right mid. Both look pretty average, but who knows, they may be okay. I might stick them out on loan next season or keep them depending on our squad depth and on who we sell next season as well. So it should be quite interesting who we decide to, who gets used a bit more often next season. I definitely will be using that left winger, Lacroix, or Lacroix, I don't really know how to pronounce it. The French left wing we have from the Youth Academy. He looks pretty good. Sadly, he doesn't have a lot of potential, as in it's not above 80. But he looks okay and definitely looks like a decent player. Now we're going to head into the game against Bayern now, and I was just heading in hoping to not get an embarrassing loss, and that was my main aim. I wasn't obviously going to tell the players that, but it was just looking to be respected by Bayern Munich and maybe get a goal or two, maybe even push them to extra time, or if we were lucky, push them and actually get the win in normal time. We did start off quite well here. Shipnowski breaking through, saved by Neuer, and we actually did get the first goal of the game. Bayern Munich sleeping, obviously a bit tired from the league form. They did actually win the league. They are champions of the Bundesliga, and they are also in the final of the Champions League, so they are looking to complete the treble here, and we were standing in their way, so I was quite happy to score there, to be honest. Just sleeping, really, by Munich. Good save from Neuer, but the follow-up, nobody could really stop it. Musa Kone coming in and putting a really nice shot, getting in between the two Bayern Munich defenders there, and past Manuel Neuer. 3 players he had to beat, and he did it all with quite a low-driven shot into the bottom corner. Not quite sure about his celebration, though. But after that goal, we did actually go ahead and see Bayern Munich have a few more chances. They definitely woke up and started to play in the game. They seemed to disappear for the first 15 minutes and then decided, oh, we'll actually play some football now. And we did concede a chance there just before. Really good save by Reimann. And from the follow-up goal kick from Muller's shot, Leitch is caught sleeping. Ball's played into Muller, and he slots that into the near post. And Reimann had absolutely no chance there. Hit with such power that Muller just was destined to score from that, and that is definitely the difference between Bayern Munich and us. The quality in player, that they can just switch it on from the 20th minute and just probably go ahead and score at least 1 or 2 goals past us. So we were definitely sort of slapped across the face there. It was a bit of a shame. We were playing much better football up until this point, and Bayern Munich then just sort of went on to have a few more chances there. You can see we were really sort of breaking up here. It was like we just fell apart. I don't really know how else to describe it. We did just fall apart. Alexandro was having a fantastic game at this point. He was just proven to be a real issue down that left-hand side, and the ball is played in by him, and it's a really good cross in, and Thomas Muller scores again, making it 2-1 in a very short period of time. I believe that was about 5 minutes between the 2 goals Bayern Munich scored. Poor defending again by me. Leitch at fault for this one. He was in front of Muller, and he let him get in front of him again, and that's not good enough from him. Obviously he's young and he needs to learn from this experience, but it wasn't really acceptable in my opinion. Bayern would scare us just before half-time with a chance here as Lewandowski takes the ball and forces a really good save from Reimann. Captain showing why he is taking charge of the game and maybe spurring us on to at least try and get another chance to possibly bring us back to 2-2. We did not start the second half well, though. Again, I just think we were sort of a bit nervous almost in the second half, and You can see here, really nice 1-2 with Perisic, and he goes ahead and slots that. Third time they scored, but also the third time nobody celebrates with the goal scorer. I'm not sure if Bayern just didn't care about this cup or not, but it was just really weird. It's like, oh, we scored against a League 2 opposition. Doesn't matter, boys. Let's go back. We'll score another one. To me, it was just a bit insulting that nobody was celebrating. For all three of the goals, when they got back level, when they scored 1-2, be winning the game, and when they scored their third, no celebrations whatsoever. It was very, very weird. But I feel the third goal sort of, again, sparked something in us to get back into the game. We did have a few more chances here. Tavares gets the ball in, and sadly, on his weaker foot, couldn't slot that in the back of the net, as Neuer had no chance of saving that. I think he closed the angles well, but definitely we probably should have capitalised on that chance. And actually from this chance here, Winsheimer does a 1-2 with Gonvula, and in my opinion, he should be scoring there. He waited a bit too long, and Neuer was fast to come out from his goal and ensure that the striker would not score his third goal in 2 games. Tavares, though, puts the ball into Gonvula, and all he had to do was volley it or pass it across, and he chose not to. And sadly, that was all she wrote. That was the end of the game. Bayern Munich beat us 3-1. It's such a shame, but if I'm being honest, we came this close to winning the cup, and in our first season with the players we have, I think it was a real underdog story. I don't think anybody expected us to get this far, and actually for some reason it was Adero, some player I've never heard of, to lift the trophy for Bayern, as he was brought on as the captain for the last few minutes, so that's a bit bizarre. But it's a real shame that we didn't manage to at least challenge them a bit more. I think we definitely gave them a decent game, but I just think we switched off for a large part of the game, probably about 20 minutes, from the 20th minute mark to about the 60th minute mark. We just weren't good enough, and Bayern definitely deserving of the win. And I did speed through the celebrations just because it's not us. If it was us winning the celebration, I may just let us celebrate. I'll play it out long, maybe put some music, but it's Bayern Munich. They win everything, and they actually went on to win the treble, as they did beat Manchester City on not on penalty. Sorry, I think they beat Manchester City in the final 2-1. We'll see that a bit later on though when we're going around the leagues. But it is a real shame. This is a really weird press conference. I know I said this previously about weird press conferences. This is a weird one, as they talk about us losing this game and going into a relegation battle. Not quite sure how that's possible. We finished the season in 5th, and we got through to the final, but yet that is us in a relegation battle apparently. I'm not sure who with, but really bizarre question, but I don't know. We had a weird question in the pre-press conference when they asked us why Tavares hadn't signed a new deal with us, even though he's a loan player. Again, not 100% sure why they're asking those sorts of questions, but I think there's definitely a problem with press conferences. They need to fix them. I know it'll take a bit of time as they're a new feature, but I'd like to think they'll get better over the course of the year, maybe adding in new answers, new questions, things like that. That's the hope anyway. I did speed up the training throughout this because there's so much to get through in terms of the training modules, so I just thought I'll show you what happens, and as long as it's sped through, you can always pause it to see the players' stats increase. We have a scout report here from the French, the scout that went to France at least, and a few decent players, some players in the 90 to 68 region, players that are probably not going to be amazing, probably have about 70 to 80 potential, but again, I'm not expecting to sign like world-class Mbappe level potential players. I'm just expecting some decent players, some players that are maybe in the 60s or late 50s in terms of rating, and maybe 70 to 80 potential. That's all I'm hoping for, just some squad players that'll build up the squad over the next couple of years. We do go in for a player on a pre-contract. I'm obviously not going to abuse the pre-contract system. I think it's realistic signing a couple every now and then, and some I might sign some older players. I don't think it'll be any younger players. So players 27 and older probably will be the ones I go for. We go ahead and sign Dino Arslanjic. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'll just call him Dino, and we'll see his stats in the next episode when he joins the club. We now go through a squad report. So this is just me going through all the stats. I don't really know if there's a better way to show it than just going through each tab one by one. I obviously won't show the morale tab because nothing's interesting there. So yeah, pretty much this is going to be the stats. I'll go through and talk through a couple of players. Obviously, lots of players have outperformed my expectations. Gonvula being one of them, 40 appearances and 25 goals, and something like 10 assists He's been unbelievable this season. If he doesn't get a potential boost, I'm going to be incredibly disappointed. But I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next episode. Obviously, Kone definitely grew into himself a bit further on into the season. I quite enjoyed using him a bit later on. Players like Reese, I actually think he was a great sign, and he felt really good in game, even though his stats maybe don't say so. Leitch, the centre-back, grew by quite a bit, 5 ratings this season. He's had a really good season as he's grown a little bit. Definitely getting some game experience has helped him out. Sadly, Robert Tesche and Lee Chung-young have both decreased in stats. I just think that's criminal. Fair enough with Gamboa because he had an injury. Salozzi and Fabian haven't really played a lot this season. But, like, why Robert Tesche? He's had probably the season of his career. And Lee Chung-young has played so well. I just think it's so unfair that these older players have been crucified because they're old. Fair enough, okay. If they've decreased in maybe pace, I'd accept that. But they've decreased across the board. I just think that's really unfair. If anything, they should increase, as Robert Tesche scored a few absolute bangers this season, and Lee Chung-young has actually scored a few decent goals and assisted really well. But it's a real shame, to be honest, to see players like that decreasing, because it sort of makes me not want to use them anymore. Just because when I use them next season, they're going to be even lower rated, and they'll eventually just become unusable. I mean, Robert Tesche's stats do not show that he is that good, and actually towards the end of the season, he sort of tailed off. Even though he picked up some great man of the match ratings, I was probably playing a bit further back as well. But he just didn't feel as good, as confident on the ball. I think his passing stats have decreased a little bit. So I think it's a real shame that players like that, I'm going to have to slowly get rid of. And I'm definitely going to have to get rid of Robert Tesche next season. I think Janelt will probably be moving in. He's almost the same rating as him. So Janelt will probably move into that position. And we'll have to sign maybe a backup for Janelt, as Robert Tesche probably won't be good enough next season to get us promoted to the Bundesliga. Going into the next bit of stuff now, and it's going to be just some menu stuff. You can see our finances, we completed certain objectives, and also the youth academy. Some quite exciting players in that youth academy. Some players that are closer to the 90 potential, possibly 85 potential band, which is quite exciting. A couple of goalkeepers there, one probably won't make it, the other one will. And we're just going to go through the leagues. Man City won in the Premier League, PSG won in Ligue 1. In the third league, Ingolstadt are coming up with Braunschweig, and Kaiserslautern did not get promoted. They lost the relegation battle. The Bayern Munich won, as I said before. Piemonte Calcio or Juventus won in Serie A. Ajax won in the Eredivisie. Porto won in Liga NOS. Celtic beat Rangers just about, and Real Madrid won in La Liga. Sorry about all the table messing up. It seems to be a bug with everybody's career modes where the tables have sort of shifted, and I think it's the goal difference has gone right to the end next to where the played thing is. So I'm not 100% sure why that's happened. I'm sure that'll be a bug that'll be fixed soon enough. You can see who the top scorers were in the league. Obviously Gonvula got that, but Moussa Kone got the top assists in the league. Those 2 assists end of the season were the deciding factors for him to beat Gonvula to that. And that is going to be the end of the season. And hopefully we will be going into Season 2 on Monday, hopefully, or possibly Wednesday, depending when the videos go out. But that will be the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed watching. Do leave a like if you enjoyed this episode and this season as well. And I will see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.